Hello students, welcome for today's e-learning session of Sri GM Dunda Primary School, Standard 5, and the subject of the day is Social Science. Students, today we are going to start the fourth chapter, that is DRC, the land of dense forest. What is the full form of DRC? It's Democratic Republic of Congo. So before starting the chapter, just go through the mind opener. The equator passes through a country. What kind of climate do you expect it to have? So, as we have studied in the third chapter, that the country through which the equator passes experience the hot and humid climate, right? So, why this kind of question has been asked before starting this chapter, that we will understand in this. Students, in this chapter we are going to discuss the following points: the climate and relief features of the DRC, its vegetation, wildlife, and natural resources, its people, the means of transport found in the DRC. So, let's start reading the chapter. The Democratic Republic of Congo, that is DRC, is a country located deep in the heart of the African continent. It lies in the torrid zone. The equator passes through northern DRC. It was ruled by Belgium till it became independent in 1960. It was earlier called Belgian Congo. In 1971, its name was changed to Zaire. Once again, in 1997, its name was changed to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is its present name. Its capital is Kinshasa. So students, as you can see in the map, it is indicating the location of DRC. See, you can see the equator is passing through its northern part, right? As we have read in the textbook, that DRC is situated in the heart of African continent, right? So why heart is mentioned here? It's not a human body, right? So students, the heart is situated in the center of human body. Hence, for center, heart word has been used here. Heart means the center. So DRC is situated in the center of the African continent. It was earlier known as Belgium Congo. Why? Because it was ruled by Belgium till 1961. So from 1961 to 1971, it was known as the Belgium Congo, and then it changed its name to Zaire. But currently it is known as the DRC, that is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Along with its name, its location is also showing that it is situated near the equator. Equator pass through the DRC. So, what kind of climate does it experience? Hot and humid. It is hot and humid. It is the wettest region in the world. Okay, and it is, you must be wonder to know that it receives rainfall every day in the afternoon. Relief. The landscape of the country is dominated by the Congo River. It is the second longest river in Africa and the seventh longest in the world. The Congo Basin covers almost the entire country. There are high mountains in the eastern edges of the DRC and plateaus in the south and southwest. So students, you can see in the figure the Congo River flows through dense forest in the DRC. How the forest is dense here, you can see this. Students, this paragraph tells us about the relief features of the DRC. So what does it say? It says that there is a river, Congo River, which is the second largest river in the continent of Africa, as well as it is the seventh longest river in the world, and it covers almost all the edges of DRC. Okay, and towards the south and southwest there are the plateaus, whereas the high mountains are on the eastern directions of DRC. Climate. Being near the equator, the climate in most parts of the DRC is very hot throughout the year. The rapid evaporation of water due to the high temperature during the day leads to high levels of humidity. This causes clouds to build up and heavy rains occur by afternoon. This happens almost every day, making the region one of the wettest in the world. In some parts of the DRC, especially in the south, it does not rain so much, while the summer is hot and wet and the winter is cool and dry. So here students, you can see the physical map of DRC in which the sea level has been indicated, because of which you can know the climate of DRC. As we have studied that our DRC is situated near the equator. So what kind of climate does it experience? Of course, hot and humid climate, because the area near the equator receives more amount of sunlight and it is direct, making it too hot, and hence ocean waters evaporates rapidly and causes the raining every day. Hence it is called as the wettest region of the world. Secondly, in the southern part, especially in the southern part of DRC, low rainfall is there. So it is cool and dry in southern region of DRC. It is hot during the summer and it is cold during the winter. Vegetation. The hot and humid climate of the DRC is ideal for the growth of dense forest called tropical rainforest. Rainforests cover most of the DRC. They are evergreen forests. The trees of the forest are covered with leaves throughout the year. There are a large variety of trees and other plants. The trees are tall and form a canopy of leaves at the top. This prevents sunlight from passing through. Creepers, climbers, and shrubs grow below. However, at several places the canopy is so thick that very few plants can grow under it. In some parts of the DRC, mostly in the south, where the climate is not so hot and wet, the vegetation is different. Instead of dense forests, there are grasslands with a few scattered trees. Such open grasslands are called savanna. You can see the zebras are grazing in savanna region. Wildlife. A large variety of wildlife is found in the forests of savannas of the DRC. Elephants, buffaloes, gorillas, chimpanzees, baboons, hippopotamus, and rhinoceros are some mammals found in the forest. Lions, leopards, giraffes, zebras, wolves, elephants, and chimpanzees roam the savannas. Crocodiles are found in plenty in the rivers. There are many types of birds and insects in the forest. Among the insects is found the tsetse fly, which causes the dreaded sleeping sickness. Paragraphs were related to the vegetation and wildlife of DRC. So how is the vegetation there? So it locates near the equator, right? So It is coming in the torrid zone. And what kind of climate is there in the torrid zone? It is hot and humid throughout the year. So students, there are tropical rainforest. What does it mean? These are the evergreen forests which remain evergreen throughout the year because of the heavy rains they receive. Even no sunlight can reach there on the ground. So creepers, clambers and herbs they grow below them. Even those are so thick to pass for us from them. Then comes the savanna region. These regions are found near the southern part of the DRC because of very low amount of rainfall and heat they are receiving. So it remains cool and dry climate, hence trees are very less there. Even the grasslands are there which are called as savanna. Now let's move towards the animals. So you must be surprised to know animals are having their adaptability as per the area they are living. Even their skin sometimes matches with their environment. As you have seen the color of the lion, it matches with the grasslands. So human being or any of the animal, its prey will not be able to notice it. So in tropical rainforest, elephants, buffaloes, rhinoceros, gorillas, chimpanzees and so many animals are living there. Whereas in the savanna region, leopards, lions, giraffes, rhinoceros, wolves, elephants are living. Crocodiles are found in plenty of rivers. Where there are plenty of water is in river, crocodiles can be found. And there are many types of birds and insects in the forest. Even among the insects, just flies there, which causes sleeping sickness among the human.
Natural resources. DRC has rich natural resources. There are vast deposits of copper, cobalt, gold, uranium, and diamonds in southern DRC. It has the world's largest deposits of cobalt. Most of the minerals are exported. With about 48% of the land covered with forest, DRC has one of the best forest resources in Africa. Water is another natural resource. Dams built on the rivers produce electricity.
Natural resources and agriculture, transportation, these paragraphs deal with the economy of the country. So economy of the country is mainly depend upon the natural resources available there. So which kind of natural resources are available there in large quantity? So copper, cobalt, gold, uranium, diamond, all these are found there in bulk.
Agriculture. Farming is done in large areas from where forests have been cleared. The major food crops grown are cassava, maize, and rice. Coffee, cocoa, rubber, and cotton are also grown, and most of these are exported.
So they grow the crops like cassava, maize, rice, coffee, cocoa and rubber. These are the staple diet of the people there.
The people. DRC is thinly populated. Most people live in villages in the highlands in the east and along the rivers. Only about 30% of the people live in cities. The people. DRC is thinly populated. Most people live in villages in the highlands in the east and along the rivers. Only about 30% of the people live in cities. Modern facilities are available in cities. The rich city dwellers live in houses and apartments and drive cars. But the poor live in crowded, unhealthy conditions in slums. Villagers live in detached herds in separate tribes or groups, each having its own customs. There are about 200 tribes in the DRC. The most well known inhabitants of the DRC are the Pygmies. Long ago, Pygmies probably lived throughout the DRC and other parts of Central Africa, but now they are fewer in number and live only in certain parts of the rainforest. The pygmies are short in height. They get their food by hunting animals and gathering plant foods. They live in camps which they occupy for only a few weeks. Then they move to a new place. They make huts out of branches and leaves. Since the weather is hot and humid, the tribal people do not wear many clothes. In this picture, you can see the pygmies carrying their hunting nets so as to they can hunt their prey on the way. Did you know that the DRC is believed to be the richest country in the world in terms of natural resources? Yet, the people of this country are one of the poorest in the world. The country has seen several wars in which millions have died. Here are the pictures of the camp of pygmy and the dances performed by them.
So the people, as it is very less population is there, only 30% of the population is staying there in the city. Villagers are living in the thatched roofs, thatched huts in the villages. And in the city, people are very modernized. The rich people are having their own houses, they are living in apartments as well, even they are having their own cars. But the poor people are living in slum areas, facing the unhygienic and unhealthy conditions of the area they are living in. There are about 200 tribes, okay, in the DRC. But one of the famous tribe is the pygmies. What do you mean by pygmies? Pygmies are the people with very short height. They are not having their permanent house. They have to wander for their food and hunting. Okay, they have to wander from one place to another, so they can't stay in a particular area for more than a week. So they live in tents. They make their tents and live there for a week or less than a week or more than. But they are not staying permanently anywhere. They are found mostly in tropical rainforest. Okay. Earlier, the pygmies were throughout the DRC, but today, in today's scenario, they are very less in number. So they are mostly found in the tropical rainforest. Okay. And they normally don't wear any clothes because of hot and humid climate of there. So, but during the festivals, during their celebrations, they are wearing some costumes and celebrated.
Transport. Rail and road connect cities with each other, but land transport is not so well developed. Water transport over the river Congo and other rivers is the major means of transport.
So, the transport in DRC is very less developed. The road transport is very less developed. Even road transport facilities there. Railways and roadways are there, but those are not so developed there. But the water transport is the major means of transport. Okay, so many rivers and even the Congo River is the major means of transport there.
Students, did you know? Three species of great apes live in the DRC. These are the common chimpanzee, the bonobo, and the gorilla. It is the only country in the world in which bonobos are found in the wild. They are also called pygmy or dwarf chimpanzees. They are endangered animals and their estimated population is only about 10,000.
Students, now I am going to share with you a video clip regarding the topic we have already discussed, which will help you for a better understanding. Go through it and enjoy it.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is a country deep in the center of the African continent. Its position is 10 degrees north of the equator as well as 10 degrees south. It was ruled by Belgium till it became independent in 1960. It was earlier called Belgian Congo. Amazing fact. Apart from DRC, there are many countries that are situated near the equator. They are Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and parts of India. From Belgium Congo, the name was changed to Zaire. In 1997, the country was renamed and currently it is called Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. Its capital is Kinshasa. The country includes the greater part of the Congo River Basin. The Congo Basin covers almost the entire country. Congo River is the second longest river in Africa as well as seventh longest in the world. As the equator passes through the country, climate is very hot and humid throughout the year. The high temperature makes the water evaporate from the water bodies and leads to cloud formation. The clouds lead to rains by about 4 p.m. It is a continuous cycle that takes place every day. In the south, it does not rain so much, which is why it's cool and dry in the southern highlands. DRC is situated in the equatorial zone, making the region one of the wettest in the world. During the wet season, thunderstorms are often violent. The tall leaves in the south. Most of the Congo region is covered with dense evergreen forests called tropical rainforests. The hot and humid climate of it is favorable for the growth of plants. Here, a large variety of trees and other plants are found. The types of trees are mahogany, ebony, rosewood, cinchona, and rubber. Because the trees are tall, they form a canopy of leaves at the top. This prevents the sunlight from reaching the ground. Creepers, climbers, and shrubs grow below at the ground. But the southern part, where the climate is not so hot, the vegetation is different. Dense forests and large grasslands with short trees are found in south. Such vegetation is known as savanna. A large variety of wildlife is found in the forests and savannas of DRC. Large mammals like elephants, buffaloes, lions, leopards, giraffes, zebras, wolves, and rhinoceros are commonly found roaming in the savannas. Animals living in the forests are chimpanzees, baboons, gorillas, etc. Animals living in the water are hippopotamus and crocodiles. Among the insects, a dangerous fly named tsetse is found, which causes sleeping sickness to humans. DRC is rich in natural resources. There are vast mineral deposits in southern DRC, especially of copper, cobalt, gold, uranium, and diamonds. These are exported to other countries. About half of the land is covered with forests, but for farming, forests have been cleared for. Major food crops of this area are cassava, maize, and rice. Other crops like coffee, cocoa, and rubber are grown for exports. The use of water as a resource through dams aid in electricity production. Rail and road help in cities being connected with each other. But land transport is not very well developed in this region. River Congo is the major means of transport. DRC is not densely populated. Here, most of the people live in villages which are in highlands in the east along the rivers. Only 30% of the DRC population lives in the cities. The cities are equipped with most of the modern facilities like apartments and cars. But a vast majority of the poor people live in crowded, unhealthy conditions in slums. Villagers live in thatched huts in separate tribes or groups. They have their own customs. There are about 200 tribes in DRC. The most well known tribe is the Pygmy. The Pygmies are considered to be the largest group of mobile hunter gatherers of Africa. They dwell in equatorial rainforests and are characterized by their short stature. The Pygmies live in camps which are occupied for only a few weeks. They live in the forest in houses made of tree branches and leaves. The day-to-day life of the forest people is very simple. The women do most of the gathering using baskets that they carry on their backs. Men concentrate on hunting and the collection of honey. African forest people are excellent hunters, and each forest group specializes in their own hunting method. The pygmies do not wear many clothes as the climate of the place is hot and humid. But for some special celebration, they do adorn colorful costumes. They like to sing, dance, and tell stories. Amazing fact! Apart from the pygmies, there are many tribes around the world, namely the Semangs in Malaysia and the Kubus of Sumatra. Recap: the Democratic Republic of the Congo is a country situated deep in the center of the African continent. The capital of DRC is Kinshasa. The equator runs through the country. DRC has a hot and wet equatorial climate. Most parts of DRC are covered with tropical rainforests. Southern parts are covered with savanna vegetation. DRC is rich in mineral resources like copper, cobalt, gold, uranium, and diamonds. Most people of DRC live in villages. Pygmies are the most well-known tribe of this region.
Thank you. Presentation by Extra Marks.
So students, now we have come towards the end of the session. I hope that you have understood the chapter very well. Now you must be knowing many things about DRC. Okay, now go through the PDF, complete your works and start learning. Stay home, stay safe, and thanks for watching the video.